I don't hear no. I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear no until maybe the 10th time.
Look, my job was to do it. Look, I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, you know, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
But you could be giving them permission on TV every day. You could have been messaging that way, and that isn't necessarily how it shook out.
Well, yes, but I also said I understand myself. I said I think I'll give you pretty good stuff, but I'll also give you 10% problematic. And so somebody's got to make the decision here to handle some of this stuff and to make it in. Those are just decisions that were made. And I think after the fact, it is not second guessing or anything. I think it's fair to go back on and look at this. Look, we had the most qualified person who'd run for president in this country's history at the top of the ticket. That in itself should have got this thing won. We had, in my opinion, and you can disagree with me, I think history will prove me right, a very unqualified person on the other side. And you have to determine, how do you get those hits? What was the best way? Did it make sense to continue to, you know, call him weird or call that out, or make this pitch that we are significantly different and our policies can improve your lives? And there's people that make those decisions, and whether it's right or wrong or not, I guess history will.
You know, breaking barriers. I always kind of help people understand, you know, this idea of breaking barriers. Some people think breaking barriers means, oh, you start on one side of the barrier, you end up on the other side of the barrier. Oh no. There's breaking involved. And when you break things, sometimes you get cut. And sometimes you bleed. And it's worth it every single time. It's worth it every single time.
And I just need to say this to you all. I could not have been prouder to have been on the ticket last fall with someone as talented and as accomplished as Vice President Kamala Harris. We know it, and America knows it, that we are far better off because of her grace, her courage, and her patriotic leadership. And damn it, I would love to turn on the TV and see her instead of what we see every day.
It was in 2004 when I became the first woman district attorney in San Francisco, and the first woman of color of any place in the state of 40 million people. Anyway, but when I became and the reason I ran, and again, know your purpose, right? Know why you're doing it. It's not for me at least, it's not about fame and fortune and title, it's about work. And so I say all that to say that for those of you who are ambitious and you're on a path where you may not, you may be the first to do many things, don't hear no, and I'll offer you the advice my mother gave me, which is, she said, Kamala, you may be the first to do many things, make sure you're not the last.